Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today we are talking about the one and only Turbo coin. Listen, we will be going and diving into the basics, of course, and the technical analysis, and we will see if there is any news. But the main thing I do want to talk about today is that there have been Twitter raids happening, ladies and gentlemen. And the reason why this is so important is because the more we are united as a community, the more we tweet turbo pictures, its hashtags, reply under comments, like and retweet our tweets all related to turbo, the more turbo will get out there. Okay, so pretty much the last few days I've been seeing crypto money. He's been tweeting another day, another fired up post to Robinhood, cheering them on to list turbo on their platform. So we can see this person has been, pretty much tagging Robinhood to list turbo. And we can see there's actually been lots and lots of support, 2,000 views, 2 bookmarks, 221 likes, 55 retweets, 5 comments. So, decent exposure. And this is just how one of the ways potentially we will get Robinhood's attention. Now, I personally think Turbo getting listed on Robinhood is inevitable and I expect it to happen at one point during this cycle. Okay, if I was supposed to put my money where my mouth is, I would bet yes, I do believe that Robinhood would list Turbo and I would put money on it. I think it's about like 85-15 odds for yes to no, just because we've seen crappier coins get listed. And we've seen Robinhood be way more open to listing meme coins in general. And when things start heating up again, I'm sure the listings will start, happening quicker and more often, right? Because they'll see, oh, wow, all these meme coins are making us some type of money because people are buying it, feeds or whatever they have on their site. And, why limit yourself to a certain amount of profits when you can be making a lot more by listing other coins like Turbo and other meme coins, right? It just doesn't make any sense to limit yourself. So, we can see there have been people that have been, pretty much talking about Turbo, adding Robinhood. As we know, if you reply under Robinhood, they just simply, hide your tweet if you talk about a different coin. But, doing it this way, you can still always grab their attention. In terms of Turbo itself, ladies and gentlemen, we can see we're almost back to 110,000 followers. Not too many new things that have been coming out. You gotta remember, Turbo has accomplished a lot. Okay, Turbo has accomplished more than literally most meme coins. Okay, in terms of exchanges, listings, partnerships, whatever they can do, even diving into other narratives, they have done so much. And, you can't expect something to be coming out every day, every 2 days. It's impossible. We still have Robinhood, right? I'm sure we still have another couple more exchanges. We still can dabble into a few more games. We have the shoes potentially coming out. We have the book coming out. We already have merchandise. There's so many things that Turbo's doing and Turbo plans on doing over the next few short months that, really make this project exciting in my personal opinion. And as you guys know, or if you don't know, if you're new to this, Turbo fully, no one's involved. It can't be rug pulled, can't be anything. So it's really safe. There's a reason why this coin has shot up massively and drastically, over the last year and a half, right? We can see Turbo, boom, and then it went flatline all the way down here, recovery, and then we just had massive pumps. Now, you might be looking at this chart and be like, well, this is scary, I don't know about buying down here. It's fair. I understand your concerns because when obviously, things drop a lot and are at a bottom, people are scared to buy because that's just the way our psychology is. But you have to understand that a lot of coins look like this, and a lot of coins that, even have real utility or, projects or institutions backing them up look very similar. Okay, a lot of coins have dropped from 70 to 90%. Turbo has dropped roughly 85%. And, there are other meme coins that have dropped even way more and are struggling to recover. They are struggling. And some of them are just keep going lower and lower while Turbo is showing life. Okay. So as discussed in the previous video, I believe this week's candle's purpose is to pretty much kind of end up the way we're looking at it right now. Obviously, we still have a few days left, so we'll have to monitor and see everything. But right now, it is looking pretty solid. Okay. So we are building some type of support over here, right? If we go down here, we are building some type of support, right? You can see we are trying to go back up. Now, remember, Turbo only has as much influence as it has because something like Bitcoin, if Bitcoin drops a lot, Turbo will most likely follow its path, especially that Bitcoin dominance has been pretty much, you know, near its last relevant highs. We can see we are getting closer and closer. There may be a little bit of a sell-off from this point, but I'm not too sure because we did have this point over here sell off a decent amount. So if we do get here, we might go back down to like 63.5% before we then skyrocket, which is good because in the bigger picture, we just kind of want this to be over with, right? If we want altcoin season, we just want this to get to our 69 to 71% before we get a nice big drop, kind of the way we did, you know, last cycle around when this is when like altcoins start to really pop, right? We're going up, and then a big dump. Then we're going sideways, right? Altcoins were building a nice support, and then once they built a nice support, bam, right? This 4 to 8 weeks was just pure green. That absolutely fantastic was what we're waiting for. So really exciting times. So we are closer to altcoin season than further. But yeah, look, Bitcoin currently just ranging, right? This week has been ranging. I will say if we do continue to range, ladies and gentlemen, right? Because I do see a little bit of a support being held right over here, right? We can see multiple days of candle closes at this area. Now, I do want this candle today to close really strong, but we'll have to see and monitor it, right? Because at this current moment, it just kind of seems like we just reject off of, let's say, the average range of, let's say, $85,500, but then we bounce up once we get to like $83,330, right? So we're just ranging. The thing is, if we continue to range and we do start printing bullish candles, even if it's hard to see, right, lower or higher lows consistently, then that will be a great indicator that we will be pushing next week higher and higher up, right? If we just consolidate here, and like I said, there's indications that we are looking to slowly be going up and up, then next week we should be pumping green, and we could be potentially going upwards of even, you know, back up to the 90,000s. So exciting times. Once again, we do have a few days left, so we'll monitor everything. Right now, it is looking pretty decent, if I do say so myself. But yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is pretty much the update. If you're looking to be buying Turbo, objectively, it is one of the best times, right? We see that Turbo is all the way down here, and Turbo has gone up to here, right? Turbo has pretty much gone to $1 billion market cap, and right now we are at 128 million. So if we go back to all-time highs, roughly, right? All-time highs, we can see that over here it says, you know, 900 practically million market cap. It's technically more or less a little bit more usually because the way the site works. But yeah, you can see you would be getting roughly a 7x or so just to recover from the all-time highs. But I do believe we will be going higher than that. I will check quickly how many holders we have. So we can see we actually did drop a decent amount of holders the other day. We lost about 100, which is a huge amount. But the last time we dropped a lot of holders, we skyrocketed into holders over the next week. So not really concerned, not really concerned at all. So personally, like I said, I am chilling. I am not influenced by people leaving or joining the project, as I do still believe this coin will be doing great. Plus, for me and my personal positions, some of them are in the negatives, some of them are still in slight profits, and some of them around break even. So I am chilling. I still have faith overall in the whole market sentiment and what's going to be happening with altcoins. But yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.